Welcome back to Strat Chat. I'm Martin, and we're continuing our tutorial playthrough of Frederick Barbarossa in an attempt to win a science victory on Prince level, explaining everything as we go along so that new and fairly new players can get an idea of what they're doing. We're going to be looking at kind of three key things today. The first is we're going to be looking at how you can build settlers more quickly, and we're going to be coming up with a strategy for building more settlers so we can expand the number of cities that we have. We're going to be making some decisions about how many cities we actually want. We're going to be looking at city placement and district planning, and we're going to be doing a little bit of that and putting the pins out like we did in the first session. And we're also going to be making some decisions. Actually, we're going to be doing this first. We're going to be thinking about our relationships with the other civilizations and city-states around us, and barbarians, and what is our strategy towards them. You know, are we making friends? Are we trying to make suzerains? Are we trying to conquer things? We're going to be thinking all of those things through. And in addition to that, we'll obviously play through a few turns as well. Let's get into the game. Hi, welcome back. So here we go. First thing is, obviously we've got this settler that will be ready in a moment, and he's going to go and form this city. That's already been decided. Cologne is very, very close to having finished the monument, and it's going to then build a campus, and then we're going to build a government plaza here. And that, remember, that's going to increase the power of all of these campuses really, really effectively. As soon as that is built, we have the option to build one of three buildings in the government plaza. And the three buildings provide us with three possible strategies. Here we go. One is, with this district, we can build the Warlord's Throne, which is really good if we're going for conquest. We can build the Audience Chamber, or we can build the Ancestral Hall. Now, if you look at the Audience Chamber, this one allows us to build up to 7 or 8 cities, I think, kind of extra tall, kind of like make them quite big. So this gives us additional amenities in every city and additional housing in every city if there is a governor there. So this is the ideal one if we're going to build. I think there are 7 or 8 governors. This would be a really, really good one for us if we were going to have 7 or 8 cities and we're going to build them as tall as possible. The other one that we can do, of course, is the Ancestral Hall, and this is one that massively increases our production of settlers, and it gives us a free builder each time we settle a city. That's very, very powerful if you're going for a very, very wide empire. You want to build lots and lots of cities, much, much faster production of those settlers, and you get to have a free builder as well. Now, we don't absolutely have to decide at the moment, but right now what I'm thinking is that I'm probably going to build, for the sake of this tutorial really, a relatively small empire of sort of 7, 8, maybe 9 cities perhaps. And so I'm thinking very seriously about going for the building that's going to make those cities grow tall very, very effectively. Now, an interesting bonus with Germany is, in fact, we should look at the German bonuses really. An interesting bonus is that they can build an additional district to everybody else. Free imperial cities. Each city can build one more district than usual, exceeding the normal limits based on population. Now, normally every city can build one district. When it reaches population size 4, as Cologne has, and indeed Aachen, they can build an additional one, so it would be at 2. But in actual fact, Aachen and Cologne, because they're German cities, can build 3. They can always build one more. And the stages, it's always +3. So at 4 you can build 2, at 7 you can build 3, at 10 you can build 4. And obviously as the cities, every 3 population you can build another district. That's one additional one for the Germans at each of those stages. So we don't need to decide right now, but we're going to be thinking very carefully about that. But I'm very, very inclined to go for the one which is going to give us the increase in amenities and in food. Okay. Just a little bit of a thought about our sort of science strategy. Now, the first thing is, obviously, we want to be aiming for places on here which are going to give us lots and lots of science. So the most obvious one here is that we can build universities a little bit. And we can already build libraries. Then we can build universities which is in the medieval era. We are still actually in the ancient era, so we've got a whole era in between. And then later on, much later on, we get the opportunity to build research labs. They give us 3 science. In fact, they give us 8 if we're powered. We'll talk about power perhaps a little bit later on. Later buildings tend to give you much more if you've got kind of electricity kind of like connected to the city. So obviously we need to be building those. And then the next thing that we need to be thinking about is we need to be heading for the first of the science techs. And the first of the science techs is rocketry. And rocketry allows us to build a spaceport. Now we need a spaceport in order to build all of the science projects. You can have as many spaceports as you want, but generally speaking, I just build one. I just do a good job of protecting it from espionage, perhaps something we'll talk about much later in the game, because we will need to build the Launch Earth Satellite project. And when that goes off, really it kicks off the space race. Now if I just have a quick look at the victory conditions, if we look at the science one, here we are, Frederick Barbarossa. We need to build a spaceport, research rocketry, as I just mentioned, and then launch the Earth satellite. Then we need to research satellites. Then we need to launch the moon landing. Now, all of these projects, the launch the moon landing, launch Earth satellites, launch Mars colony, launch exoplanet expedition, all of those things are very big on production. Okay, so this is not just a science thing. We need to build a city that is capable of building these projects really quickly. So in a moment we're going to be thinking a little bit about that too. Along the way, there are certain things that might make our lives a little bit easier. One is that if we look at the governors, Pingala, if he is in that city as the governor of the city that's building space projects, he gets a 30% increase to all space program projects in that city. We've already begun to work our way up. If we look at the promotions here, we can work up our way up and hopefully get that. If we are following a tool strategy, we'll want all of these all of these governors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can have an empire that's bigger than 7, but because the penalties for not having a governor are not particularly awful. But we would want at least 7 cities and a governor in each of them, and we'll have additional cities if any stand out as being particularly sort of powerful. But we can win this game with 7 cities, particularly on this sort of a level. Incidentally, while we're in here, these governors have different sort of purposes and uses. Liang is really good, for example, in a city where you're going to be building all the builders. You can pop her in and she will give you an additional charge for each of them. We'll talk about kind of like builder strategies perhaps a little bit later on. Rainer's kind of quite cool. I mean, I'm looking at the earliest kind of sort of abilities. Rainer's quite good because she allows the city to acquire new tiles faster, and also gets gold from foreign trade routes that pass through that city. So we'd have to have a look at how we can find out how many trade routes. We want to put her in a bit of a trading hub. Not so much the cities that we're trading from, but that foreign civilizations are trading with us. Moksha is very unimportant for us in this particular game because we're not playing a religious game, but he will. If you put him in a city and you've built the correct building in the government plaza, he will provide additional housing and amenities to the population there. And Marni's really an interesting one. There's all sorts of strategies you can do with Marni. If we just plant her in one of our own cities, she's not going to be doing anything special. Rather like Moksha, she's simply going to be allowing the city to grow a bit bigger. If you are under attack, Victor is the way to go. He's also very useful on the offence because of the ability to... Here, garrison uses defending... Your other cities within 9 tiles gain 4 loyalty per turn towards your civilization. That's actually an offensive, or can be used as an offensive trait from Victor, because when you capture an enemy's cities, very often they're near to the enemy's other cities, so they're still loyal to the old civilization, and they're very likely to flip back, and it can be very, very difficult sometimes. And by kind of strategically placing Victor, he gives you a +4 loyalty kind of like boost. But that's not something we're looking at particularly in this game. Of course, we've already talked about Pingala, and the great thing about Pingala is that we get +1 science per turn for each citizen in the city. That's in addition to the, I think, 0.5 per citizen that you get in the game anyway, in the base game. And we've got a similar thing here, +1 culture per turn for each citizen. So these are two very, very valuable things. As we work up with Pingala, because obviously Pingala is the one we need to get to near the top. We don't need this because we're not going for a tourist victory. But this is actually quite useful. 100% great people points generated per turn in the city. So doubling the number of great people points. And I'll talk about why. Because great people are on this tab here. And you get points towards great people by owning various things. So you'll notice that in order to get a religion, you need a great prophet. You'll notice the Netherlands are well on their way to getting one of the great prophets. We're not aiming to form a religion, but the other civilizations will. We are, however, working our way towards a great scientist. Those great people points come from districts predominantly, and they come from district buildings. Various things you can do to increase and speed those up. You basically get one per district of the type that it is. So we built campuses, so we're getting 1 point of great scientist point per turn. If we build a library, that'll increase by another one. So we'll have 2 great people points per turn. I think universities give you another one, or possibly even 2. It might be the scientists give you 2. But the point is, the more buildings you've got, the more that this number increases. When we fill this bar up, we get to 60. If we're first, because other civilizations might be racing us, we win the great person, and we're able to utilise his benefits. Which brings me to another point. There are some very, very useful great engineers in this game to help with the science victory. So we are going to want to be getting great engineer points. You get great engineer points from your industrial zone. For the Germans, that is called a Hansa. Hansas are going to be really important in this game, because Hansas give you the kind of production you need in order to build those space parts. Germany gets special industrial zone called a Hansa. It's unique to Germany. It replaces the industrial zone, but it's half the price. It's much, much cheaper to build. So we're going to be building quite a few Hansas. We get additional production, +2 bonus for each adjacent commercial hub, aqueduct, canal and dam district. Now, all civilizations get the +2 for aqueduct, canal and dam, but we get it for the commercial hub as well. And that's kind of easier. And we're kind of going to want to build commercial hubs anyway, so it's kind of almost like a guaranteed +2 production. And then we can perhaps build 1 or 2 of these as well. We also get production for each adjacent resource, and +1 production bonus for every 2 adjacent district tiles. So if, for example, you get coal or iron or perhaps copper or even horses resources, you get a +1. So it should be possible for us to build some very, very powerful Hansas later in the game. For which reason, we need to be thinking, as well as the other things, we need to be finding a way through this tech tree that gets us to the Hansa, which is just here. The Hansa, we need to get to here, and then later on we need to get up to here where we are discovering coal, and we can build factories and coal plants and things, but also the Ruhr Valley. We want our most powerful industrial city to be able to build the Ruhr Valley. That will make us much, much more productive. The Ruhr Valley is a world wonder. It's the main one that we want to build in this game. It gives us an additional production in this city, and +1 production for each mine and quarry in this city. Must be built along a river adjacent to an industrial zone or Hansa, which has a factory. So we need to make sure that we plan that city out so that it can do that. It must be along a river and adjacent to an industrial zone with a factory. So In short, every city that we build in this game, we're going to want to have a campus district because obviously we're going for a science victory. Most of the cities we're going to want Hansas because they're so productive and they're so easy for Germany to build. Practically every city is also going to want a commercial hub because it's going to boost the production of that Hansa, or possibly a harbour. I want to build a harbour. A harbour and commercial hub do serve relatively similar functions, and what I'm hoping to do is to have at least one good sort of like sea city where I can do a little bit of exploration at sea. I want to meet the other civilizations in the game, for example. They might be on different continents. So those are the three main buildings, districts: Hansas, campuses, and commercial hubs. We're going to have those pretty much everywhere. Right, that said, let's have a little look for a site that is going to give us really, really good production. I think maybe I've found a possible location. So, excuse me. If I place a city centre here, now we're thinking this is the place that's going to produce a huge infrastructure of space parts and things like that. The reason we've chosen it is partly because we've got these floodplains, and you'll see why that's important in a moment. And the other reason that we've chosen it is because we have lots of hills around it. And if you remember, the Ruhr Valley Wonder allows a great deal to be done with hills. They become much more productive because we can put mines on them. It's going to be much more productive. Now we're thinking about building a dam here. Okay, so this is the dam. Now we do not have the technology to build dams, but they give +2 adjacency bonus to Hansas, and we are probably going to be able to build an aqueduct here, and that also provides +2. So we are potentially looking at a Hansa here being a +4, okay? But also, if we place a commercial hub here, the special thing about the Germany is that the commercial hub gives another +2 to that. All of a sudden, this is starting to look like a +6. Okay, now I might move these around. I haven't worked all this out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's say even 1, 2, 3, 4. Say here. Right, let's say we also, however, if we place another city, 1, 2, 3, 4, say here, yep, we're, okay, well we could have another aqueduct here. We can have another Hansa here. We could potentially build another dam. A dam here. And we could build a commercial hub here. Now, both of these cities are now very powerful. Now actually we get another one from building mines. Let's get rid of this. So if we had a, I don't know, maybe we don't. Okay, well look, the point is that this gives this one +2, this gives this +2, that gives that +. This is a +8 straight off, okay? I'm not sure if, well no, mine wouldn't provide anything. We've also got a city here though, and this has got +2, 4, 6, 8. And it's actually better because you also get +1 for each 2 districts adjacent. So this one has 5 adjacent, so you're going to get another 2 for that. This one has 6 adjacent, you get another 3 for that. This becomes an absolute economic powerhouse. Both of these cities could produce space parts fairly quickly. I quite like this one. Oh, we have got a problem. Okay, so just realising just one problem that we have with this particular layout, and the problem that we have here is that we haven't left space to build the Ruhr Valley. So we would have to take this out. Is that the only way of doing this? Let's just leave that for a moment. So Ruhr Valley has to be adjacent to a river and adjacent to the commercial hub. I think we'd have to go here, wouldn't we? So let's change that to, we'll find the Ruhr Valley. It'll be here somewhere. Here we go. Okay. So that reduces how good this city is in a way. I wonder if there's something we can build up here. I can't see how we can. It's not impossible we could build another city down here or something later on and put something here to make up for the fact that this is now only +2. It's a +6. It's a +7, isn't it? It's still not bad. I can't think while talking to you at the same time of a better way of laying this out. I could put the Ruhr Dam down here somewhere. Perhaps that's supposed to be a dam, isn't it? I could put the Ruhr Valley down here somewhere, but this isn't such a good site because there isn't really very much in the way of hills, and it's hills that you mine, and that's what gives the Ruhr Valley its real impact. Now, while we're doing this, okay, here you can see we've got these 3 tiles here. If we get rid of this woods, this is a place where we could build farms. Now, I don't know if there's a thing for farms. Oh, there is. Okay, so farm there, a farm there, and a farm here. And we'll see later why a farm like that will allow a city like this to grow very, very quickly and to be really, really substantial. So that's something that we're aiming to do. Obviously, we'll mine all of these hills, and we will have a nice campus here. Obviously, we can do that. Add attack. That's a nice spot for a campus. Absolutely not there. Add attack, go here. So obviously this is a place that's going to want campuses, although it does waste a production hex, a really, really productive hex. Right, I've managed to lose a small-ish amount of footage, about 4 turns, unfortunately. What can I tell you has happened? I have nearly built horseback riding, which I wanted to go out of. And in fact, I wanted to work towards sort of currency instead. So I'm going to change because we decided we're not going down that kind of military route. We've been chasing off this barbarian scout. He's very likely to get back to his campus, but he doesn't seem to know about Aachen. He hasn't got the little sort of exclamation mark above his head, but we're chasing him down. We're continuing to explore with this warrior, and I just bitterly regret it because I should have built another scout, because scouts are much cheaper but better at scouting than warriors that are expensive and better at fighting barbarians, which is kind of where I need him really. But I just can't stop exploring with him because I need to find out what the hell's going on in this. Settler here has repaired this tile. It's on his way back to repair this one. This builder will arrive in a location where he's going to build his first city very, very soon. We are building the campus first. We were thinking about building the government plaza first, but we didn't quite have enough money to buy this tile out. We're working towards early empire, and when we get there we'll talk about what we're going to do with that. Okay, because early empire basically allows us to open our border. It actually allows us to close our borders, but it means that we can then sell open borders to other civilizations. Also, when we get there, I'm thinking about selling some horses off because we're not planning to attack Akkad anymore. Okay, so we can repair this, and we can get Aachen back online a little bit. Next turn.
Look back over the past.
Here we go. So we've got it. Okay, so the ancient era is ending in 4 turns. I'm not going to talk hugely about that until we get there, and I will explain a little bit about that process because it's not hugely impactful for where we are at the moment. I'm going to carry on chasing down this settler, this warrior. I'm going to build with this settler here. We can get rid of this, we can delete that, and we can start building a campus to go here. We certainly want to place it. And we could build something else. I mean, we're doing quite well. If we look against other civs, we are ahead in science. We are less ahead in culture. There is a case to be made for building the monument first. Do you know what? This is a city that's going to really struggle with food because there's very little food production around it. I've got a few ideas for how we can improve that later on, but let's give them a granary first. We are short of housing. Okay, civics. So we're going for political philosophy. He's going to carry on exploring. We met the Spanish. Okay. This guy is going to go and improve this tile here. All right. Right, governor title. Later on, I think we're probably going to be building some builders there. So we're going to build Liang. She's going to go to the new city. Here we go. Send her off to Berlin later on. Maybe quite high production there. Might be able to build builders for us a little bit more quickly, and she'll make them a little bit better. She'll make them +4. Right, we've changed. Okay, so we can now have a look at our government. We can change our policies. Fighting barbarians remains useful. This is the urban planning is the one you just leave in, generally speaking, because we've got 3 cities now. All of them are benefiting from that. It might be you want to build builders in one, settlers in another, military units in another, whatever. But this helps all of those, so it's a good standby. Right, we're going to talk to the other civs. Let's talk to Spain first. Okay. Can we declare friendship? He doesn't want to declare friendship. Can we make a deal? So, would he buy open borders with us? He wants money for it. So let's figure about that. We'll do that later. Let's sell him. Let's sell him 19 horses. 3 a turn. That's pretty good. Get rid of him. Let's talk to this lady. Right, open borders. Is she interested? No one seems particularly interested. Can we instead sell her 19 horses? What would you give me? I'm quite happy with that. That's a big increase in our gold production, about 7 increase in our gold production. We were quite sort of low. Okay, we're going to carry on pushing that scout. It's going to have a little look over here. Okay, so we need to do something to improve food production over here. Yeah, it's not going to be a great food producing city, is it? But it is going to be a good science producing city. Let's send him down there and improve that tile, because we want to start getting iron, and also it will massively improve the production of that city. At the moment, that's the only tile that city is working. That's why it's not producing enough food. Okay, I just built a builder. I think we're going to build a trader, because that's another way that we're going to help Berlin. I'll show you that when I've built it, and it's going to boost currency. Okay, that's a bit of a dead end. Right, we're going to stay here. He's likely to come towards us to attack us. He can only move 1 hex, because this is a hill, and this is a hill and a forest. We'll get the first hit. We'll be able to attack this spearman. Then the spearman will attack us, and then we'll probably have to run away. But we'll get a significant amount of damage done first. Okay, so we need to just end turn. Right, Chandragupta is a little bit annoyed with us because we don't have a religion. He's probably also annoyed with us because we're pretty much his nearest neighbour, and he doesn't really like neighbours. That's his thing. Right, we're going to go around that way. We can't get any further. Right, so here we get our first hit. Cost him about 18, 20. He's going to attack us now. He'll get even more damage, and then we'll have to run away. We're about to meet a new city-state, and it is... we're going to meet them next turn. Okay, we are now in the classical era. Okay, I'm just going to quickly... I've got the money to buy this tile. Let's just place the government plaza, and then we'll go back to producing the campus. Obviously we want to build that first. We can get rid of this. Actually, we can get rid of this. We need to start thinking about building more settlers. So perhaps when this is finished, we'll get a settler. We want to get a settler down here. Start building up this city. Okay, make a dedication. Right, we've got a... remember, there are normal, dark, and golden ages. We've got a normal age. I'm quite happy. This is the first chance that we have an opportunity of getting a golden age. I'm quite happy that it's a normal age. If we have a golden age, we get some benefits. But often in the classical era, you haven't really got the resources to really take advantage of it. But if you get a normal age, then you get bonuses to make it easier for you to get a golden age in the medieval era, when we're more likely to be able to take advantage of it. So I'm quite happy. So what are we going to pick? These are all additional ways of picking up era score, which increases the likelihood of a golden age in the medieval era. This one is to do with science things, building science buildings, and getting eurekas, the moments that give you a bonus to science. We're going to be going for that one. This does the same, but it's with more culture. This is whenever you build a speciality district. We're not going to be able to build loads of speciality districts yet. This one is much more geared towards religion. So most games I play, actually, I tend to pick free inquiry in this for the classical era. It now means that these become even more valuable to us. If we can build a quarry, we're going to get an era score as well as everything else. Right, we need to think about coming out of currency very, very soon. I think this is the last turn that we'll work on currency, and then we'll swap to something else, and then we'll allow the boost to get it for us. Okay, who have we met? Okay, religious city-state. They want a galley. Right, but we're gonna do that. Let's have a look at the city-states now. Right, so we need to build a spearman. I'm going to do that in Aachen quite soon. We need a government plaza. We're going to do that next in Cologne. We want a galley from that one, and I think a galley from this one. So if we can get a city on the coast and build a couple of galleys, we'll get 2 boosts. And we've got the trade route to Akkad, which is very, very achievable. We can do that because Akkad is just here. So this, when I've built this trade, I could, if I wanted to, send it to Akkad. Okay, now, what is my strength? 63. I'm going to run away. Okay. Okay, we want this guy. We want to improve these tiles. Several reasons we want to do that. One of them is that putting farms or diamond here is going to increase our housing, which is a real problem in Cologne. As you can see, we're kind of capping out. Each 2 farms gives you an additional 1 housing, so we'll be able to get an extra couple of points there, perhaps. Also, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we can get 6 farms, we boost a very important civic feudalism later on, which which makes your farms more effective. It gives you an additional food for every 2 adjacent farms. So diamond shapes and triangle shapes become really, really efficient because they all get boosted by each other. And our settlers become better. If we place this card in, we get an extra 2 build actions. That's really, really powerful. So let's end turn. Okay, so Cologne. Let's build the government plaza. Let's carry on retreating. He's going to build a mine. This is going to give us loads of boosts. Watch for the era score down there. It gave us 1. Okay, that's because we already got the... Oh no, it's given us 2 eurekas. Yeah. So those... Yeah, you trigger because you... Okay, basically we built enough mines, I think, to trigger a eureka, and we are now exploiting a resource that has to be mined. That gives you a boost, a eureka. So you notice we're beginning to churn our way around here. Okay, right, he's going to carry on going down here and carry on checking out Chandragupta's lands. Is there anything I should be doing? Yes, I need to go out of currency because we're going to get that in a minute. I think it would be a really good idea to get the watermill because we can use that to boost construction. We could do, all of our cities are built on rivers, so it'd be a really good idea to get that. And basically, the watermill is built on cities with rivers, and it just gives them extra production and food. Right, we don't want it to go from Aachen. You can see if we can. Akkad is tempting because we get the envoy, but it's not a particularly valuable envoy for us. What I want to do is an internal trade route. If I trade from Aachen to Berlin or Cologne, I get food and production. If I trade with these city-states, I generally speaking get money. I want internal trade routes at this stage in the game, and later on I'm going to have foreign trade routes. If I send it to Berlin, Berlin will get these bonuses instead of Aachen. Remember, Berlin is really short of food, so I think it's a really, really good idea to transfer it to Berlin. And then I'm going to send it to Aachen. Now I'm a little bit worried about this guy. Let's just get him in here. Okay, they're going to carry on exploring. Okay, so a whole series of questions. Do we build a settler? I'm very, very tempted to do it. I'd quite like to have a spearman. I know that I've got the card in for building spearmen quickly. I think I'm going to play him. If he kills something, he gives us a bonus. So let's go for him first. Okay, next turn. Oh, we had an eruption.
Politics is the art of the possible.
We'll have a look at that in a sec. So where's this eruption? Okay, so it's massively affected Geneva. It hasn't massively affected us. It has made these tiles better. Or has it made these tiles better? Maybe it's made these tiles better. Okay, and they're too far away from me. Okay. So when volcanoes explode, they're hugely damaging. Like floods, they damage, but they make the tiles better. And you can see these are now really good tiles. But I'm never going to be able to take advantage of them from Cologne because 1, 2, 3. As you can see, I'm too far away. Okay, choose a civic. Right, what we want to do is head towards feudalism. We can't really boost it. It's going to take us ages to get the construction technology. We don't really want anyone to declare war on us, but we can build 6 farms. So we can do that. That's going to help things. See feudalism. It feels like we're a long way away from it at the moment. The one after that we're going to be working towards is exploration because we want merchant republic, which is the next tier of government. But let's get the tier 1 government before we start working on the tier 2 government. So I can pick a new government. Interesting choices. As you can see, classical republic means that we're going to be able to have 2 economic policy cards, 1 diplomatic one, we'll look at those in a moment, and 1 wild, which means we can place anything in that one. We can place military, diplomatic or economic. Autocracy gives us 1 of each, and oligarchy is much more focused in cards wise towards the military ones. Germany is unique that it gets an additional military card anyway, which makes Classical Republic, it takes away the disadvantage of Classical Republic because actually we have got a military policy slot here. Autocracy, we'd have 2. Probably a bit much. We're not going to want 3 military policy slots. But there are other benefits. One of them is that cities with a district receive additional housing and amenities. Now we know one of our cities is struggling with that. This is going to boost that. All of our cities have or soon will have districts. That's going to give us additional housing and amenities and great person points. So we are working towards a great scientist. That's going to boost our production of great scientists. I'm not going to go through all of the different benefits. This one clearly everything fits for us here, so that's what we're going to go for. A load of era score for being the first person into Classical Republic. Now we are producing a melee unit, so it might be worth keeping this in for the moment. This one is a very, very good card to play virtually all of the time because we've got 3 cities now. They're all benefiting from that. We are going to be building builders, and we are going to be building settlers. So I think I'm going to put those in. Then we've got the diplomatic one, +2 influence points per turn. That's really good because those points will add up and they will build up in this sort of clock here. When they get to the top, we get a new envoy that we can place anywhere. Or we can have this really interesting one where the first envoy that we send to any city-state counts as 2. I think we're going to go for this one for now. Sometimes it's worth, especially if you know that you have a medal on city-states, it's worth building up a big pile of these envoy points and then going and exploring the world. And as you meet these city-states, you put that card in and you send your first one off. Anyway, we've set up our government. Okay. Right. Notice that we're about to boost current. Okay, so I want to send this to Ark, and I want to send it to the capital. It'll build a road for us. It'll speed up some of this sort of movement. I mean, we should send it to Akkad and gain an envoy, but we're not going to do that because I think it's more important to build this city up. We could send it to Nazca, and then we would get a trade post here, which would allow us to boost it to further places like Amsterdam. Later in the game, it's going to be great to do that sort of thing. But right now, let's just send it to the capital. We'll get 2 food, 1 production in Berlin, and we will get a road built, and we will boost currency. So if we just flip back to currency briefly, it's virtually ready now. Okay, let's keep exploring. Right, very tempted to go for this. Why not?
Giovanna, desirous of obtaining beauty.
The Fountain of Youth. We get some era score for that. We're not the first, it's probably just 1. If you're the first to discover it, I think you get 3. Excellent.
Wealth consists not
We've got
in
currency. Okay, we can now build commercial hubs. So I need to think about where those commercial hubs are going to go. This is never going to be an amazingly productive city, but we can have a commercial hub, and we're probably going to have one right here. We could have it here. Okay, let's have... So I don't want to place it because I need to remove this wood, so I can't place that commercial hub. I'm going to place a commercial hub over here. Okay, because this tile is of no other value, but it will be a good commercial. Commercial hubs get +2 if they're on rivers, so that'd be a good place for a commercial hub. Our next research. We were working on this, weren't we? Let's finish that. Desperately need a quarry. We need to buy one of these tiles basically because this stone can be quarried. Okay, let's keep moving. Okay, let's get him back up to full strength. We're really going to find out what the Indians have got down here. It's going to be very, very valuable to find that out. Next turn. Oh, great. So they've sent us a delegation, so they're getting a little bit more friendly.
Don't reinvent the wheel.
They'll be a little bit annoyed with us that we haven't sent them our trade route. We declare friendship. No one's making friends with me. Okay, this is going to make this tile really, really good. Look at this. Okay, so it's now 5 food, 3 production. It's probably the most productive tile in the game at the moment, certainly in our civilization. We're going to do this one as well, which will give us 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we can use the other point to go and do something else. Perhaps remove this research. Now we are now in the classical era, so actually these techs are very, very cheap. So I'm going to just quickly knock these up. It's only going to take us 2 turns to get them. once you move into a future era, the technologies from the
Vessels
previous
large
era
may
become
venture
cheaper.
more, but little boats.
Okay. Ah, right. We really want to kill a unit with this. Okay. Move to here and hit that. Now, what you'll notice here is that it's now working all of these very, very productive tiles. This one's not so productive. Probably an idea to get a mine up here or something. It's growing to there, interestingly, quite soon. We've now got 8 housing. See, we've been doing things to improve our housing all along. Okay, I'm going to build a settler because I can build them reasonably quickly now. Now here's an unpleasant situation, isn't it? I could attack him. I think he's going to, in the long run, he's going to win this. But I want to get this tribal village. I'm going to try going around another way, seeing if he gets into trouble with something else. Okay, there's a peninsula here. Barbarian galleys, they're dangerous, horrible things. Got to say, it doesn't look like the Indians have got a huge amount of space.
A physician without a knowledge of
astrology. Let's go over there. Okay. So, we're now going to want to build the building. The ancestral hall increases settler production. I mean, it's not crazy. So that is definitely an idea. Increase settler production in that city, churn settlers out there, and just put down as many as we can. But I think 7 or 8 is the number to go for. So audience chamber will make all of those cities much better as long as we've got governors. Okay, so let's go for that. Now notice it's taking 15 turns. That's quite long. We've got a new governor, so I'm going to get Magnus. I'm going to put him there. Now he will make chopping much more efficient. So I'm going to chop this forest, and that production is going to go into the production of this chamber here. So let's send this guy around to chop that. Okay, we are definitely in trouble here. Let's go down. He can't fire at us because they've got these woods in the way. Okay, what are we going to do now? I kind of want to boost this because I want the era score. So I guess the thing to be going for would be... What I could do is work towards some of these. Hang on, what's the... Let's go for... So we could... So what we need is universities. Okay. But that means that we need to go through that one. This one is having 3 districts. We don't have 3 districts. 3 mines we're going to get. This looks like a really good way. So we're going to be able to boost all of these. 3 districts is the toughest. Okay, so we're heading directly towards science, which is in the medieval era. So that actual one would be quite expensive. This one would be quite expensive. But we get to build our Hansas when we get that. So 3 districts. Can anywhere build another district? We've got 2 districts because we've got the government plaza, we've got the campus. All we need to do is somewhere build a commercial hub and we are good. Okay, we are good to go. Okay, so where are we going to build a commercial hub? I guess here. Yeah, okay, so let's place it. Commercial hub. It's going to be a +3. It's a great commercial hub. And we're going to chop this, speed that up. We might even chop one of the jungles.
No hour of life is wasted.
He was able to fire at us. Okay. Right, we can't go through anymore. So we no longer have open borders. Okay, that attack's nice. You can wait there. Right, so let's talk to Chandragupta. Can we declare friendship? Yeah, okay, so we are now friends with Chandragupta. We do not need to worry about them attacking us. we can sell them anything we want. Let's go open borders. They're up for swapping open borders. Will they give us some money towards it? So a good idea is to perhaps start with about 10. No. God, sometimes you get like sort of 40 or 50. Okay, we can get a little bit off them. Okay, not much, 7, but it's better than nothing. Goodbye. Let's try to make another deal. Let's see if they'll buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 iron. Yeah, that's a significant two per turn. That's a significant amount of iron. They got horses, but I think they're getting their own now. Say goodbye. Right, let's go to Philip of Spain. Will he declare friendship? He will. We're now friends. We can make a deal with him. Open borders. Okay, well, let's get open borders as cheaply as we can. You might just take one. Sometimes it's no. Okay, a little bit more. So we're gaining a few gold getting open borders with Chandragupta, and it's costing us a little bit. But remember, this is a one-time. It's just costing us 4 straight gold. We've got that deal. He only has the horses that we gave him before. He's friends now, so he's not going to attack us. So let's just see if he'll buy 4 of those. 1 a turn. Oh yeah, that looks like a good deal. Let's sell him 11-ish. He gives 2 a turn. He's going to be able to build military units, but we're thinking we don't mind now because he's a friend. Will she make? Which she won't make friends with us. Okay, but we can still make deals with her. What would you give us? I'm happy with that, but I'm not selling her any more horses. If you look, she's got 19 horses. That's not enough to build the horseman. If I sell another one, it will be. She's the only one that won't make friends with us, so she's the only one that can attack us. So she's not getting strategic resources that she can use in that kind of way. We can now move back through Chandragupta's territory. We are in a world of trouble. I think we need to... Let's hope that going here... Oh no, I was hoping to be able to move 2 away from this guy. I think we may be about to lose this warrior, which is a shame. Okay. This wants to be a... What about... like the water mill would be good because it gives additional food. Do you know what though? Let's get this campus going. Let's get it going. We're closing in on 2 population here. We desperately need a builder to improve the food production over there. Okay, so have a look, just see if that is the end of the peninsula. Yeah. Okay, so what's really, really clear is Chandragupta's got 2 cities. We're already kind of hemming him in. Realistically, I didn't want to build this. I want to carry on building the settler. I just wanted to place it. If we go here, go here, we should be able to get him. Right, there's barbarians all over the place. I think we might be able to escape. Yeah, it looks like we've succeeded in escaping. Okay, will that kill it? Yes. Will that kill it? Ooh. Okay, we might be in a little bit of trouble here. Okay, this guy is going to be able to attack us, so let's move out of the way. Okay, where's he exploring now? He needs to be going and exploring around here. Oh, clear this this whole area. Okay, right, let's hit that. He's got to regain some strength before he goes and clears that. Send an invite. Right, I'm tempted to go for... There's no point. There's no benefit in increasing this one. We have a benefit of increasing that because we'll start to get some additional faith. If we leave it and play it when we built a galley, then we would be getting, have 3, which is significant because that will actually improve the the power of our university universities. Yeah. I'm just going to go and get a little bit of extra faith. I'm sure to come in handy at some point in the game. Okay, we're just going to heal. Okay, we want to build. We want to buy this tile. 80. Okay. We have to wait 1 turn because he takes 5 turns to establish. He'll be established next time. If I was to chop this now, it would give us 47. Remember that number. We'll see how much it is next turn. Okay, we don't need to worry about that because we're about to get an improvement to that. Like he's established. Right. 70. So it's gone from 9 to 3. So that's a massive improvement, basically. Right, we're going to be having this little bit of a exchange with these barbarians. They're going to lose, clearly. We're at settlers not far off. We're going to not worry too much about this because we've got to protect our settler as he heads to there. We might go for another one afterwards and send him over here. And then we want one here. And then we've got 6 the kind of key cities in our empire. We'll probably build another 1 or 2, but those are going to be the key ones if we can get all of them. Now this one, we're only building this one if we can get a campus here, and we would get a harbour probably there, and that's where we would build our navy and go and explore the world. If this campus has gone because Geneva has expanded to this tile, then we're not going to build this city. We'll build a port somewhere else. And interestingly, this city will expand its borders every time someone has sends an envoy there. So if we'd sent that envoy that we just earned to Geneva, they could have expanded to this tile. So actually it makes sense to not send envoys to Geneva until we've established this city with a campus there. Yeah, she's annoyed. It's because we won't trade with her. Right. Okay. Well, let's move to here because that's safe. I believe he's safe. We can't see him. Let's carry on healing. Okay, we've got our settlement. Okay, so doesn't look like any really safe ways through this. Let's do this. Let's send him there. Him there. Now we can't fire at both. He's just going to go this way. And we are going to crank out a... Tempted to do another settler. I think we might need to do another settler. Building 3 mines. We need a builder for that. Okay. I've got money? No, not for a builder. Okay, in a moment we're going to switch out of apprenticeship because we can boost it by building 3 mines. This problem is about to go away. Okay, right, we've got it. We've got this guy anyway. So I can attack that. Oh, can I kill it with that? I'd like to get the boost. Right, okay, so there's a boost for this. It didn't quite work. Never mind. Okay. There's a boost for killing a unit with a spearman, but it didn't work out. Okay. Right, this guy's going to there. He's going to get the boost for mines. All of a sudden, notice no one has amenity or housing problems because that building has just made all of those go away. I think it would be tempting to build. Let's build a builder here. Now we are boosting builder production, so it's quite efficient to build builders at the moment. Governor title, We've already got 3 governors, so we don't need another one yet, so we can improve one. Let's promote Pingala. Now we're getting 23.3 science, and once it's updated, oh, we need to move it out of apprenticeship. Okay, let's do a turn into that. 27.1, so that's quite a big improvement.
If bread is the
Now you'll
first
see
necessity of life.
we are like way ahead of these people here. So games and recreation, we're now going to go to what's the next one? So we're not going to be able to boost that, but we are going to boost this one with 6 farms. Okay, let's carry on exploring. Ooh, mountain range there. Okay, so I can kill this scout. He's spotted our city, so let's do it. Go here, fire. Okay, good. Right, he's going to settle there. Not settle, but he's going to recover his health, because he's important for guaranteeing that we get this settler through. And we got our first great person. Okay, so we'll take it. Get some era score. We're doing quite well on the era score here. Have a quick look at what the next one is. Okay, so Hypatia is the best one. Now these guys here are getting 1 science great person scientist point per turn. We're getting 2.3. We should be able to overtake them. What we've got to do is make absolutely certain of it. So we need libraries. We're going to get another one when this place is finished in 4 turns. These are all important things that we need to be able to get. Okay, we stopped a little bit abruptly there. I just suddenly realised how long the stream had been going on. What we're going to do is come back to it. Hope you join us for the next one, and we're going to see that industrial powerhouse begin to start to take shape. It's going to be brilliant. We're hopefully going to produce that harbour city with another great campus, and we're going to complete the key cities that we need to build in this game. It's just 7 or 8 or so cities in total is all we're really planning to build. See you very, very soon for that episode. Thanks so very much for watching. Don't forget to click like and subscribe if you get anything out of these videos at all. And also we do have a Patreon.